Here he is. He joins me right now. Backstage, Beatdown Promotions 8, the legendary Ben Johnston. Now, there is a myth that you were about 5 hours away and you ran here.
Pretty much. We had Harry Shepherd. I know this is a MMA channel, but Harry Shepherd won his WBC Queensland title. He defended it successfully tonight. So pretty much it was like I left him on the canvas. He stopped this guy in the first round. I was like, love you, mate, got to go, you know, so, yeah.
How far away was it?
Southport, so about 90 minutes. So, yeah.
90 minutes?
Yeah. Well, we'd had the jiu-jitsu state titles all day as well, so it's been a huge day, bro.
I mean, that's how everyone speaks of you as well, as a coach, and obviously you've just shown it there. Like, what does coaching your team mean? I mean, you take that player-coach role, but it really seems to sort of control your life.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it's gonna be hard to have kids. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure that out now. I was like, okay, in a couple of years I do want to have kids. I don't know how it's gonna work. So. Do
you want to take the foot off the gas at all?
Yeah, for what? For the coaching?
Yeah.
No. I think we got momentum. You got to ride it. I think that's what happens is people do stop trying to push and trying to get better, and then they sort of rest on their laurels or whatever you want to say. And I don't think, we're still so young. I don't think we really even have any laurels to rest on. I think everything's just starting, and we've got a bit of momentum, and I'm just going to keep on pushing, and the guys will keep working, and hopefully we get it to where I think it can be. But yeah, no, I don't want to stop. No.
Well, before I get on to you, we'll talk about Diego Pereira. I mean, that first round, right. How much were you screaming?
Yeah. Well, bro, he was in trouble in terms of control, right? I was actually screaming at the ref to be like, he's all good, Yeah. That was more what I was screaming at, because it's one of those things, man, you can't even give sound advice when you've got a grappler that high, and the control is kind of invisible to the eye, if that makes sense. You're it's hard to tell exactly, and I know how to get out of a body triangle. We train that position countless amount of hours. But Diego being held in there, and Diego's one of the best grapplers in the gym, if not the best, being held in there, you're like, okay, well, my advice is kind of useless at this point, but I know he's not getting hurt, so I'm telling the ref, he's all good. And then Diego, let him make sure you keep working and try and defend to let him know that you're all good, because we don't want to get stopped from this bullshit, So, yeah.
Because it was a tough position, I mean, especially in that body triangle. When you turn, you obviously really open it up to getting squeezed and getting all those organs. And then he was kind of half going for the twister. Did you think he was in trouble at all?
I didn't, no, not with the twister. I was most concerned with, you chasing me? Oh, you wait.
I was just wondering if you fight for the Beatdown middleweight title.
Damien Brown coming in, offering the middleweight title for Ben Johnston. He won't take anything but the UFC. He won't take anything but the UFC.
I know it's exclusive. It's fine.
Oh, so exclusive contract.
I'll leave that between you guys.
I hear quietly he was impressed with the show anyway, so.
It's a good show, bro. It's a good show.
Well, I mean, and talking of that, of your career, we're still at I don't want to say peak, but we're at the important bit of the career. Yeah. Yet you're racing around town, sort of coaching, and we've talked about you having to balance it. You've mentioned kids and family. We have heard rumours throughout Australian MMA that if it's UFC or nothing. Is that correct?
Look, I don't know. That's what my heart is saying, of it's UFC or nothing. I don't know, man. I just have to see. If UFC is a no for whatever reason, which I don't know why. And I'm not bitter. I'm not jealous, or mate, you call it jealous, but I'm genuinely happy for the other guys, the Aussies and the Kiwis. A lot of them are my teammates from CKB. Have made Dana White Contender Series. I'm genuinely stoked for them, and good for them. I just believe that I'm with them. I believe I'm right there with them, and I should have a shot as well. So, yeah, if I don't get the shot for reasons I don't understand, then fuck, man, that's not my fault, is it? So yeah, What was the question again?
The question was basically literally that, UFC or nothing, but it kind of gets tied into the coaching as well and starting a family and all that sort of stuff. You're such a busy man. Something does have to give it at some point. Do you think it will be the fighting?
Look, it makes sense that the fighting window is the one, obviously, that has the nearest use by date due to age. So I'm 33. So that would be the one that would be going first. But also that means it should really be the priority because it's the one that's got the least amount of time left. So I've really got to take it with both hands and make sure that I do everything I can to reach my potential. Essentially, yeah.
So, I mean, I won't push too much on it, but in the sense of everyone is kind of wondering, they want to see you sort of back in action. Do we have if we don't know by October?
Yeah, I don't want to put any dates on it, you know, because even I've gone over so many other possible scenarios in my head of what happens if I don't get to the UFC or even Dana White Contender Series. And if I get to Dana White Contender Series and fuck it up and lose, I had a crack, you know what I mean? I tried and I got there and failed. I think we said this in our first interview, right? If I fall on my face in front of everyone, fuck it. Like, it's better to try it and then not get there. You know what I mean? Like, he can hold his head high. He may not have been the UFC champion, but he's done more than 99% of other coaches in Australia and in the world. You know what I mean? So, fuck, man. Like, hats off to you. You know what I mean? And if I get to something like a career like that, then that would be huge for me. And even if I don't make it that far, that's huge for me. And if I only make the Eternal Champion and I don't make the UFC, fuck, man, that's pretty huge still, you know. And if that's where it stopped, then fuck, cool. I'm happy. I'm proud of what I did. I gave it a red hot crack. I do believe that I can be in the UFC. And I do believe I can fuck some of those guys up, you know. But if reasons outside of my control dictates that doesn't happen, then that's what it is, man. What am I going to do, you know? So yeah, we're going to have a shot. And if I don't make the UFC, sorry to bring it back full circle, what am I going to do? Man, maybe I'll just get jacked and go to light heavyweight and try and take another belt, you know? To me, every fight has to be exciting enough to put the family on hold that I really want to start. And, you know, I'm trying to divide myself amongst the business. My business partner and my team picks up a lot of slack. The training, I've got amazing coaches that help me out as well. And I'm sort of giving it 70%, you know, because I'm still there's a chance that this thing still might go, and I'd be stupid if I stopped now. If I stopped chasing it right here, I went, no, I've got to. So I'm going to give it some. It's got to be exciting for me not to pursue those other things. It's got to be extremely exciting, and it's just one more fight, just for the sake of fighting, is not exciting. I've had nearly 40 of them now. You know, I don't know the exact number, but I've had enough that I don't need to keep counting. You know, so yeah, it's just got to be huge. If it's not UFC, it's still got to be big. Yeah.
Well, brother, it often feels like I'm trying to get an answer out of you, even though you're trying to get the answer out of yourself. So I will leave it there. But mate, I really do appreciate it, and it would be very weird if you didn't get your shot at the next level. So I can't see it not happening.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you looking after me as well, and stirring up any drama that comes about. I appreciate it.
See you later, legend.